Every day you struggle in battles that no one else sees. You set goals, then you procrastinate. You face opportunities, but you hesitate. You stumble once, and you turn away as if the path ahead has closed. The one who makes you fall is not the world outside. It's the weak mind that's controlling you from within. It makes you doubt yourself and turns you into a slave to fear. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." If you don't master your mind, it will master you. Today, we will explore 5 Stoic lessons to shatter a weak mindset and awaken the truly strong version of yourself that's been sleeping inside. Lesson 1. Identify the weak version. No warrior can fight if they haven't seen their opponent. In this internal battle, the opponent is the weak mind. Before you can destroy it, you must learn to identify it. The danger is that the weak mind is never obvious. It doesn't scream or make a scene. It hides in small habits and in seemingly harmless choices. Take a moment to look at yourself. When your alarm rings at 6 a.m., you know you need to wake up to work out, to get things done, to own the day. But instead of getting up, you pull the blanket over your head and whisper, "Just 5 more minutes." That is the weak mind. When an opportunity comes up, you hesitate and think, "I'm not good enough. I'll definitely fail." That too is the weak mind. When just a small criticism makes you feel down all day, doubting your self-worth, that is still the weak mind controlling you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Your power lies in mastering your mind, not in controlling external events." Yet, most of us hand that power over to the weak voice in our head. It decides whether you act or give up, whether you persevere or quit. The first lesson to destroy the weak mind isn't to attack, but to identify. The next time you're about to procrastinate or give up, stop and ask yourself, is this a choice made by my reason, or is it just the weak voice overpowering me? Will this decision make me stronger or weaker? Epictetus once reminded us, people are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. The weak mind always distorts reality. It turns a difficulty into a disaster and a failure into an end. But once you look it in the eye, you'll see it's just an illusion it creates to hold you back. Remember, the weak mind is a part of every person, but it is not who you are. When you dare to name it, you separate yourself from its control. And at that very moment, you start to take back control of your life. Lesson 2. Find and remove the roots of negative thoughts. You can't heal a wound just by bandaging the outside. If a toxin remains in the blood, it will continue to spread. The mind is the same. If you only look at the surface without finding the roots of negative thoughts, you'll be forever stuck in a cycle of weakness. So where do these roots come from? First, they come from limiting beliefs you've unconsciously held for a long time. When you were a child, maybe someone once said, "You'll never amount to anything." That comment might seem forgotten, but it's actually taken root in your mind. And every time you're about to try something new, it reemerges. Don't bother, you'll fail. Second, they come from comparison. You look around and see others who are more successful, more talented, or happier than you. Instead of learning from them, you let your weak mind whisper, "I'll never be as good as them." It's this comparison that nourishes negative thoughts. Third, they come from the fear of failure. You haven't even started, but in your head, you've already created dozens of worst-case scenarios. You let your negative imagination shackle you instead of taking action to change reality. Seneca once reminded us, we often suffer more in imagination than in reality. So how do you remove these roots? Start by writing down the negative beliefs that are controlling you. When they're on a page, you can truly see them. Next, challenge them. Is this belief true? Is there any evidence to the contrary? Has anyone been in a worse situation than I and still overcome it? By asking these questions, you're slowly pulling up the old roots and replacing them with new seeds. I can learn, and I can start over. Remember, negative thoughts don't appear out of nowhere. They're planted and nurtured over the years. But just like a garden, you have the power to clear out the weeds and plant what's truly worthy. Only when you find and remove the roots of negative thoughts can you truly free yourself from the manipulation of the weak mind. Lesson 3. Renew your mind. You can clear out the weeds, but if you leave the soil empty, they'll just grow back. Similarly, after identifying and uprooting negative thoughts, you need to plant new seeds. And that's the step of renewing your mind. The weak mind always tries to drag you back to the past, a place of failures, criticism, and unhealed wounds. It also loves to push you into the future, a place of worries, worst-case scenarios, and a bleak outlook. And what's the result? You never truly live in the present. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." That is the essence of renewing your mind, breaking free from old cycles and bringing your attention back to this moment, where you truly have control. So, how can you renew your mind? First, change the story you tell yourself. Instead of, "I always fail," say, "I am learning how to succeed." Instead of, "I'm not good enough," remind yourself, "I'm making progress every day." Don't see this as lying. It's how you reprogram your mind so it serves you instead of working against you. Next, practice journaling your thoughts. Every night, write down the thoughts you had during the day. Don't judge them, just write. When they're on the page, you'll realize many of them are just exaggerated fears, not the truth. Writing is a way of detoxing so your mind has a cleaner space tomorrow. Finally, focus on what you can control. Epictetus taught, "Some things are within our power, while others are not." Whenever you feel anxious, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. If it is, take action. Renewing your mind isn't about trying to erase your memories. It's about changing how you face them. The past no longer has power when you've learned from it. The future isn't scary when you know you can act in the present. Remember, the mind is like a river. If you let it stagnate, it becomes polluted. But if you let it flow and cleanse, it becomes clear. Every day you choose a new thought, a new perspective, a new action. That is when you are renewing your mind. Lesson 4. Your environment and the people you choose. You can train a strong mind. But if you live in a toxic environment every day, that strength will be gradually worn down. This is because a person isn't just shaped from within, but also by their environment and the people they associate with. Think about your day. How much time do you spend scrolling through social media? How many hours do you spend listening to others complain, blame, and spread pessimism? Little by little, these things seep into your mind. And even if you don't realize it, they're secretly nurturing the weak version of yourself. Epictetus once told his students, "Steer clear of pointless conversations as they plant meaningless things in your mind." The ancients understood that the environment is the soil that nourishes the seeds of the mind. In bad soil, a plant can hardly bloom. So how can you redesign your environment? 1. Purify your living space. A cluttered room will weigh down your mind. Clean it up, keep it minimal, and let your living space reflect a clear and orderly mind. 2. Limit toxic information sources. Don't start every morning with a barrage of negative news. Be selective. Read books, listen to inspiring podcasts, instead of scrolling through social media. 3. Choose your companions wisely. Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." If you surround yourself with complainers and quitters, it's hard to stand firm. But if you're with disciplined, positive people who dare to move forward, you will be lifted with them. 4. Create a training environment. Keep a journal ready on your desk to make it easy to write. Have your running shoes by the door so you have no excuse to procrastinate. Every small detail can be a reminder that pulls you back onto the path of strength. Remember, a healthy seed needs good soil, clean water, and clear sunlight. Your mind is the same. If you want to destroy your weak self, don't just train from within. You must also protect your external environment. Because in the end, no one can stand strong in an environment that is always pulling them down. Lesson 5. Discipline over emotion. Emotions are like waves. They come unexpectedly, surge high, and sweep away your willpower. Discipline is the anchor. It keeps you steady, no matter how rough the waves are outside. A weak mind always follows fleeting emotions. If you want to rest, you rest. If you want to quit, you quit. If you want to get angry, you explode instantly. And then, after the emotion passes, all that's left is regret. Epictetus once reminded us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. Freedom comes from knowing what needs to be done and having enough discipline to do it, even when your emotions are working against you. Observe yourself. You set a goal to work out, but after just one sluggish day, you skip your workout. You plan to write a book, but when inspiration runs out, you stop for months. You swear you'll learn a new skill, but after a few weeks, the initial excitement fades and you give up. In all those moments, you chose emotion over discipline. And each time, the weak version of yourself grew a little stronger. So how do you change? 1. Put principles before emotions. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" ask, "Is this what I need to do to become stronger?" If the answer is yes, take action, no matter what your mood is. 2. Start with small disciplines. Wake up on time. Drink a glass of water in the morning. Write a few journal entries every night. Don't underestimate these small actions, because they will accumulate into great strength. 3. Practice discomfort. The ancient Romans practiced voluntary discomfort, willingly facing difficulties to become tougher. You can try taking a cold shower, walking a little farther, or exercising when you're tired. Each time you do this, you're sending a message to yourself. I am not controlled by my emotions. I am in charge. Discipline isn't a shackle. It's the sword you use to cut the chains of weakness. Emotions might make you waver, but discipline will keep you on the right path. Remember, a person who lives by emotion is a hostage to circumstances. A person who lives by discipline is the master of their destiny. And when discipline is strong, the final thing you need for your mind to become invincible is gratitude, the key to finding peace amid every change. In our fight against the weak version of ourselves, we've equipped ourselves with many weapons. However, there is one of the most powerful and simple tools that we often overlook: gratitude. A weak mind is dominated by what it lacks, what it hasn't achieved, and what it might lose. In contrast, a stoic mind focuses on what it has. And there is no more effective way to shift this focus than by practicing gratitude. Gratitude isn't a frivolous emotion, it's a powerful mental exercise. By practicing it, you are training your mind to shift its focus from scarcity to abundance. Try a simple exercise that the Stoics often used. Every morning before you start your day, Take a minute to list 3 things you're grateful for. It could be a good night's sleep, a loyal friend, or simply the ability to wake up and breathe. You might feel this is a small thing, but those small things are the solid foundation for a strong mind. When you focus on what you have, you'll see that many of the fears and insecurities in your weak mind are not real. You will realize that you already possess a great deal, even when everything seems to be working against you. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By cultivating gratitude, you are enriching your own mind, building a solid mental fortress against the changes of life. Gratitude won't erase difficulties, but it will help you stand firm among them, like a sturdy oak tree in a storm, unshakable and full of life. We've been on a memorable journey together. We've learned to identify the weak version of ourselves to strip it of its power, expose the roots of negative thoughts to pull them out from within, renew our minds through reflection and journaling, choose the right environment and people to nurture our growth, discipline ourselves to kill procrastination and build a strong character. Practice gratitude to find abundance and peace. By applying these lessons, you aren't just learning a philosophy. You are truly engaging in the great battle of your life. You are fighting to regain control of your mind, to become a stronger version of yourself. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Start today, even with just one small action. Because before you can change the world, you must first change your inner world. If this video brought you value, please press the like and subscribe buttons to support the channel and give us more motivation to create meaningful content. And leave a comment below sharing which lesson had the most powerful impact on you. See you in the next video on your journey to mastering your life. Today, we will explore 5 Stoic lessons to shatter a weak mindset and awaken the truly strong version of yourself that's been sleeping inside.